For all those times you stood by me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to
NSO birth certificate? Isang tawag lang yan. Dial 737-1111 or log on to nsohelpline.com. Delivered in 2 to 3 days. Tawag na 737-1111. nsohelpline.com. Broadcasting live from the Capital Broadcasting Center studio in Ortigas, Pasig City, Philippines. 25,000 watts of pure AM power.
25,000 watts of pure AM power.
Matapang sa pagbabalita. Punong-puno ng informasyon. Laging handa sa public service. Ang pagbabagong hanap mo sa AM. Ito ang DZME 1530.
Alamin ang mga naaangkop na propesyong tatahakin base sa inyong kaalaman at hilig. Career orientation you shouldn't miss in pursuing your dreams. Let's talk about career. Natatanging career orientation na tutulong para sa tamang pagpili ng kurso at propesyon. Let's talk about career. Libreng pagbibigay ng on-the-job training sa mga piling propesyon. Makibahagi. Let's talk about career.
It's July 4, 2015, Saturday, and we are here at Let's Talk About Career, show only here at DZME 1530. And on behalf of engineer Grace Bondad Nicolas, who is in Laguna right now attending her father-in-law's birthday celebration, this is Bjorn Martinoff taking over for the whole day of information about career. Our main topic for today is information technology industry, and with us, it's a leader in this industry. A big surprise. If you have inquiries, please call me or text me at 0917-523-4296, and you can also watch this at live streaming. With us today, I'm very excited, is Lars Jeppesen. Lars is the CEO of Tech1 Global, and Lars is from Denmark. Say hello, Lars.
Hello or hi. If
Wonderful.
do you want it in Danish or in?
If you like, yes. I doubt we'll have many Danish listeners
let's
today.
keep it in English today.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Lars, you're a very interesting guy. We've worked together over a few years, and we met at the Cheese Club. At the
being
Manila
Danish,
Polo Club.
Being Danish, probably the cheese
Was
club.
it the Danish cheese night that time?
Yeah, probably.
Probably,
it was,
right,
yeah.
probably. Lars, tell us a little bit about yourself, about your company first, maybe. People are probably interested.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm the founder or co-founder and CEO of a company called Tech1 Global. Being global, we are present in several countries, but mostly in Asia. So we have offices in Brunei, in Singapore, in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka, in Nepal, and in Philippines. And we also have offices in the US and in Middle East. But mostly we are focused on Asia. We see a lot of growth happening here, and that's what inspired us to set up here. We focus our business on two different aspects. We are a Microsoft solutions partner, system integrator.
Wonderful, great company.
Yeah, across the region, and we have our own solutions on document management, document imaging.
That's brand new stuff, right?
Well, the paperless office has been around for many years, but implementation is still happening many places.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, and then we have a BPO arm as well. So we are into a variety of IT industries, but all under the umbrella of Tech1 Global.
You also have a training arm, right?
Yeah, we do
technical training.
Yeah, technical training. We have all the different Microsoft certifications, and we just launched a brand new app developer program. together with a Malaysian company. It's called iTrain, basically enabling anybody to start developing apps on iOS or Android. Giving young and old people basically an opportunity to get into this new career path and maybe run your own business, maybe be the next billionaire in IT, do your own app and
I hope you're listening out there.
Yeah. So that's what we do.
Fantastic. I'm really excited. So it's about 6 or 7 companies in total that you have, right?
Yeah, we have 14 companies.
14 now,
14
wow.
companies in our group. Here in Philippines we are a tiny company. There's many very, very big companies here, so we look at ourselves as a small to medium-sized business. Yeah.
But you've chosen the Philippines to live, and you're also married to a Filipina.
Yeah, well, that was the main reason. I fell in love with the Filipina and with the Philippines, and we live here now. We have 2 kids, and we have been here 6 years. This is our home. Whenever people meet with me in business, they always say, "Okay, so when are you going back home?" I said, I'll go back home this afternoon. After the meeting, I'm right back home, where I live. I'm a permanent resident here in Philippines and very happy with that. So we have lived abroad many years, and we felt that we came home here to Philippines. Lots of opportunities and a great place to live.
It's so
wonderful,
true.
wonderful people.
Yeah. I also fell in love with the Philippines when I first came here in 2003. I was here for almost a year. I wanted to see how long I could live abroad. Before I lived in Los Angeles, and I wanted to see how long can I survive abroad without having a job or something like that.
Yeah.
And it almost lasted a year before I ran out of money. But when I went back to the U.S., I'm originally from Germany. I got homesick for the Philippines. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I just missed the very kind and very nice warmth of the people here. Here in Manila or in Makati, you can walk down the street and just say hello to anybody you want to. In LA, you say hello to someone and they think they're gonna rob them or something.
Yeah. Well, since it's about career and business, I think one of the main things that keeps our spirit high these days is that the economic growth of the Philippines is just outstanding.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities here, both for local jobs and for outsourcing BPO kind of jobs, and I think for Filipinos it's a right place to be. I'm happy to see more and more people choose to stay here, even though a lot of people still go abroad. I think that there are so many opportunities here locally that you don't really need to go abroad anymore. So that means a lot for family. Filipinos are very family oriented, and if you can stay here and make your career in the Philippines, why would you want to go to Middle East or other Asian countries?
Far away from family.
Far away from family, and I think that's great. So in our company, we focus a lot on the local growth, what we can do here in the Philippines, because we have excellent talented people here, and we want to provide some opportunities for them here in Philippines rather than be a manpower agency and send people abroad. I think we do a lot of outsourcing from US and Europe, but we do it right here in the Philippines, and that gives people opportunities here.
It's really wonderful, and I'm very grateful, Lars, that you chose the Philippines as your home. I have a new friend, but also I fell in love with this country, and I think we can support it, even more. What are some of your favorite parts of the Philippines? Like maybe geography or food or people? I mean, obviously women, right? Your wife is a Filipina.
Yeah, so that's it. I'm no longer interested in women.
Just the woman. Right?
Just a woman, yeah. So no, I mean, I think there are so many beautiful places in the Philippines. Our favorite places are the beaches. We love Boracay.
Oh, the beaches are great.
Yeah, even though people who have been here many years, they hate what happened to Boracay, but I've not been here long enough that I've seen what was it like before. So I just like the bus when I go there. Otherwise, we live in the south of Manila, so we don't have much of traffic problems, really. A little bit local issues here and there, but I think we live in a nice, green environment where we live in here in Muntinlupa in Alabang, and we have our office there as well. So the south for me is great, but the north with the rice terraces and the spectacular mountains and everything, there's a lot of things. There's basically something for everybody here that you can see. Palawan, Cebu, Bohol, it's endless. I cannot mention all the 7,107 islands here in the show, and we will have nothing to talk about careers, right?
Exactly. So, if a new expat, new foreigner would ask you, what's a good reason to stay in the Philippines? What would be like on top of mind?
If a new expat,
somebody who's new to the Philippines.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always promote Philippines as a destination to visit for as a tourist. I think there's a lot of things you could do here. For an expat to settle down here, I think you have to do something different and something. You have to get involved with the local business or in the BPO sector.
If you're still into career.
Yeah. Yes. If you are beyond your career, you want to settle down. I think Philippines is one of the best places to retire.
Yeah,
I really personally haven't looked much into that aspect of my life yet, even though
you're far from retiring.
Not really that far, but it's it's just not in my mind. Yeah.
Still having so much fun.
Yeah, and the other thing is that
it is more fun here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more fun in the Philippines. Yeah. Since I am involved with a lot of young people. In our business, I think in our company the average age is maybe 26 or 27.
Yes.
So when you are in tune with this kind of people every day, you don't even think that you're going to retire. But I'm in my early 50s, so I guess a retirement age is coming.
It's coming whether we like it, whether we want it or not, right? Here it comes. Woohoo!
Yeah. So, but in terms of in terms of the career opportunities here and career opportunities for Filipinos here, I think there's so many things going on that doesn't really matter what is your talent. It doesn't matter what is your talent or what is your education or what is your income.
Yes.
You have an opportunity to do whatever you want. It's a land of many opportunities. There's a huge domestic market just waiting for new things.
Yes.
And if you talk, for example, about app development, there's so many opportunities to get in and provide services here locally that could make you a fortune. And in terms of the global market, of course, Filipinos have a very, in general, a very artistic eye. So what we do here is we do design. In our company, we do our user interface and user experience part of the design.
Yes.
So in our own software development, probably many people don't know what's happening in a piece of software and application, but there's two distinct parts. One is what you see and one is what you don't see. And everything that you see, we do it here in the Philippines.
Oh, nice.
So all the cool features that you see and that you play with, we design them here, and then the programming we do in a couple of other places, but we focus here on the talent of the graphic designer.
So it's a true regional collaboration.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Then we do also here photo retouching. So the artistic eye again plays in. We bring in photographs from photographers in the US and Europe, and everything really in the whole aspect from real estate, resorts to portraits, family portraits to newborn babies, and we have a BPO where we do this as well. So good opportunities here because that talent base is here. We hire people, we always, you always look at somebody's educational background, but at the end of the day, it depends on what kind of job you are applying for. Like if you are going to be an engineer, an architect, or a doctor or a nurse, of course you have to have your certifications and you have to graduate from the right kind of courses. But when you talk about sales, marketing, artistic professions, even software development, it's very hard to take somebody who is just graduated. It's not about you just graduate, it's about the talent you have. So whether you are before or
and
after,
how much of that applies for the position? Right?
Yes, it doesn't matter if you are before or after your graduation. So we have very talented people who come in like on-the-job training, and so on-the-job training typically happens before you graduate.
That's
and
true.
some of these people, they're just much better than finding somebody who has 20 years experience in the industry. They have a fresh look at things.
Yes.
So we just hire whoever we can, really. In our business, we are in growth mode, and whoever have talent, that's what we look at. Talent and people who show up at work. It sounds strange, but we have hired people or interviewed people who didn't show up for the interview. That's the first thing. If you want a job, show up for the interview.
Yeah, otherwise you won't get hired. Otherwise,
yeah,
right?
on time. Don't call 2 hours after the interview with an excuse of why you didn't make it, because by that time you probably lost the opportunity. So
Yes.
number one, show up for the interview,
Yes.
and number two, show up on the first day as well for your job.
Yeah.
And stay. Give it
Sort of the basic requirements.
Yeah,
Basic.
yeah,
right?
give it a few weeks before you give up.
Yes.
And you would find that most companies actually provide you with the foundation of growth. And for many young people, the difficult part is to get out of school and into a job.
Yes.
So it might not be just what you had expected.
Without leaving the country, ideally.
Yeah, without leaving the country.
Yes.
So,
So does your company have any openings right now?
yeah, we always hire specifically on the photo retouching, graphic design, AutoCAD.
Yes.
We have a lot of openings there, and we actually go and do engage with universities and schools, job fairs and things like that, to be able to recruit. Recruitment is actually a challenge. You would not believe it with an unemployed base that is difficult to find people.
Yes.
The other thing is, of course, we are trying to find people who are closer to our office, so they don't have to commute a long way. I think the main issue is finding people who have the talent and then also have the consistency in showing up and producing good quality work.
Tell me a little bit about, in terms of spirit, right? What would be the ideal new hire at Tech One Global here in the Philippines? What kind of spirit are you looking for in the person?
I think the main quality of a person is to be able to collaborate, contribute, to be trustworthy. I'm not talking about stealing. I'm talking about you give somebody a thing to do, they participate in that, and they meet their deadlines. Those are the main components that make you a successful a new starter in a company. Of course, then you need to bring in your talent.
Yes.
It's not that you go home and do something at home, and then when you go to work, you leave half of your creativeness or half of your soul back home. Give it a good try.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that
I think that's good advice.
yeah, maybe in your life in school you are used to there's a bell at a certain time, and then you go home. Don't really think about that when you go to school, especially if you are young. You don't have obligations. If you have obligations, family and so on, it's very important to have a work-life balance, and we advocate that. But if you don't, put yourself ahead and contribute. That's the main thing.
How would you distinguish the spirit of Tech One Global here in the Philippines from other companies here?
Well, I think we have a happy office. We have a happy culture.
Happy colors even in the office.
Happy colors in the office, and we don't have a dress code per se. Everybody's having lunch together. People are friends on Facebook and share things, and it's like coming from me, maybe it's a little bit pushy, but when people themselves say it's like a family, you don't have to be the dad who said we are family, right?
Yes,
and with the pointing finger, but
Sure.
when your staff say, oh, it's not a job here, it's not a workplace, it's a kind of a family.
It's more like a home. No?
Yeah,
In a
well,
way.
there's a term specifically the coffee shops have been using called the third place, which is home, work, and then the coffee shop. The
Yes,
coffee shop
yes.
becomes the third
The
place.
extended office.
Yeah, but now I see that our office becomes a very important second and third place. The place that people should like to hang out.
Yes.
we have ordered and bringing in some, like Xbox and things like that, so people can hang out in between work.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and we have
Unwind maybe a little bit.
beanbags in the office. Wine, we can add some wine. Yeah.
No, unwind, not wine, unwind.
No, yeah, we can unwind and we can have wine.
Lars is a wine lover, by the way.
Yeah. So as long as people are happy, I think that's the main thing.
Yes.
At the end of the day, and I think everybody should understand that a company is not existing for the staff.
Yes.
We don't, nobody creates a company to hire some people and make them happy.
Sure.
We make a company because we want to make money.
Sure.
Okay. Now
but you also realize that a happy staff creates good results.
Exactly. Right? So how can we make a company more profitable is by having happy customers.
Yes.
Now, how can we make happy customers is by having happy staff.
Yes.
So it's a full circle. But I think as an employee,
and it has to come full circle.
Yes, it has to come full circle. Yes. You cannot, beat up your staff, and then expect them to have a happy face in front of the client. The client will eventually feel it. So empowering your people to do the right thing, take decisions. There's an old saying that the one who doesn't make any decisions doesn't make any mistakes.
That's
and unfortunately, it's a kind of a culture here. That's maybe another career advice. Don't be afraid of making mistakes.
Yes.
Because the more things you do, the more mistakes you will make. So when somebody doesn't do any mistakes, it's also evident that they haven't done anything.
That's true.
And maybe they have done something, but they didn't do something new. They haven't tried something else. So when you contribute, step out of the norm, break the rules, and come up with ideas, because those are the new things that elevate our company to the next level.
And I think that's a little bit of what you've been doing your whole career, right? You also started, tell us a little bit about how you started, and then where did that lead, and then eventually how did you become the CEO of such a large company?
Well, my business partner always tells me, or used to tell me, now his kids grew up, he said, don't talk about your background, in the house. Okay. Because I'm a school dropout.
Oh, okay.
And now my wife is
well,
saying...
you're in good company, right? With Michael Dell, Bill Gates, and who's the other one from Apple?
Yeah,
Jobs, right?
Yeah, all these guys.
You're in excellent company.
Yeah, I guess even Zuckerberg is one of them, right? Yeah. I mean, but they are just a handful of people. Sure. They have to represent the biggest wealth in the.
But they're still driven, right? It doesn't mean they don't have drive.
Yeah.
It just didn't fit into that scholastic environment.
So again, it depends on what you want to do. I don't think we have any successful, brain surgeon on this planet who didn't go through medical school, right? You don't have any successful nurse who didn't graduate from nursing. So if you want to do that, you have to go to school. But if school is not for you, it's not a disaster.
Yes. Especially when you're looking at a breakout industry or a new industry or a new field of some sort, where degree programs may not have been established yet, right? Or norms and standards haven't been established yet.
And I think also there's a misconception that when people drop out of school, they become drug addicts and criminals. And of course, some of them do. Probably there are much more people who became drug addicts and criminals than people who became billionaires, right? So, parents have a point of trying to keep their kids in school. Because
absolutely. It's a good foundation. It's always something you can fall back on.
Yeah. Education is important.
Is it for everybody? No.
Yeah.
No,
but really. The thing is, if you talk about myself, what happened was,
I just cut off Lars.
Yeah, we're kind of co-hosting here, and we're also the technician. There's one technician out here, but we're doing
it's Joey. Hi, Joey.
Yeah, hi, Joey. We're doing the mic on and off and up and down, and Bjorn was just coughing and he cut off my voice. So yeah. So
sorry about that.
Good thing it's not TV, but anyway, it's good fun, right?
Yeah. There's a camera running. So you can watch us on Ustream.
Okay. So hi. So when I was 18, I had kind of not so good grade in what's in Denmark is called gymnasium, which is after high school. It's kind of in between high school and college.
Yes, or junior college in the US,
yeah, something like that. I had not so good grades because I was basically not so engaged in working in studying anymore. So when I turned 18, I went down to the school office and say, well, I'm a legal adult, right? And they said, yes. Okay, so I can sign myself up, right? Yes. So that's what I'll do. And actually the same day I'd already accepted an offer from a company to work for them. So
Nice.
it was not that I didn't have any work. Maybe I did not have so many plans.
Yeah, and I think in Europe it's a little different when you don't have a high school degree, versus here the difference in salary can be quite large here. While in Denmark maybe not quite as the difference is.
I mean,
not quite as large.
you know, I can tell you that yesterday I was interviewing for a position. I had 4 interviewees,
Yes.
and you know, I have to be careful because I don't know who's listening out there.
Yes.
But actually, the one who got the job,
Yes.
or who we are going to offer the job, is one of the 4 who didn't have a degree in that specific, you know, job.
Yes,
And so maybe that is because of my own background, and I'm not looking so much at that.
Yes.
But I cannot have a finance manager without a degree in accounting, right?
course,
I mean,
of course, yeah.
and I cannot have a plastic surgeon fixing my nose without having some kind of a medical degree at
Yes.
least. You know, so as I said earlier, it depends on really what you do. So
But
for me,
what was it that struck your interest in with that person? Was
well,
it-
it's more it's a combination of the work experience. So when it's either if you have work experience or you have a lot of interest.
Yes.
See, let's take it out of that example and say, okay, I want to hire tomorrow a graphic designer.
Yes.
What is important? A graphic designer who comes for an interview with a portfolio of stuff that they have done that all looks fantastic, but has no degree, or a person who comes and say, I have a degree in fine art from the best university in the world,
Even
but I
maybe
have
even
no
a master's
I
degree,
have
right?
I have no portfolio because I'm not really into art, but I did that course.
Yes.
Okay, it's an obvious choice.
Yes.
So, but it's also an obvious way of saying if you have a talent for something, and talent in business is if you have talent in sales, you can make it in many different areas: marketing, sales, creative jobs. You can always make it if you push yourself and if you take the education further on. So what I wanted to say earlier was that you very often misconceive that if you don't have a formal education that you are less educated. That's not true.
It's not true.
Very
at all.
often what
Yes.
happens is
not
that-
necessarily
Yeah,
true. Right?
not necessarily true, but what very often happens is that people who have
Not everybody would agree with that, right? Especially HR.
well,
sometimes.
if you drop out, it doesn't mean that you are not interested in learning.
Yeah.
And you know, there was one example the other week. I was reading a story about a gentleman who owns the one of the biggest internet website communication companies in the world, and he left school when he was 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And he left school when he was 12. He was running at that time the first Harry Potter fan page. Okay.
Wow.
And his parents said, you can drop out of school and you can do this because you're excellent developer, you can program and so on, so you don't need to do tables anymore and math, but we need you to read every day a short story, short biography of one successful business person. So he continues to do that while he developed the business. And when you see on Facebook these days some story and you won't believe what happened next. He is the one behind those websites,
is that the SFG?
it's a myriad of different websites, and they're all advertising based. And he's very successful, and he's in his late 20s, and he hasn't been to school since he was 12.
Yes.
So career doesn't necessarily mean schooling.
Yes.
So I think career.
I think schooling can prepare you for a job, but not so much for entrepreneurship.
Yes.
no?
Yeah. If you are an entrepreneur, and if you for example you come in our app developer class, that maybe be all that you need.
Yeah.
So as a parent, invest in your kids when they show interest in something, and then let them flow
Yeah.
with that.
But you still caught up with formal education at some point in your life.
Yeah,
'Cause I
so-
know
yeah, so-
you worked
so-
for Kodak for a while, right?
Yeah. Then I went into the early days of IT in the early 80s, and then I joined a multinational Kodak was basically the Microsoft of that time. They owned huge industries, different kind of things, and I got involved in the document management, document imaging, and
hence the interest in that.
Yeah, and they sent me to some MBA programs, and also later on I joined another company, and then sent me to some other MBA programs. So I've done some MBA programs. One was from Harvard and one from IMD in Switzerland.
Quite prestigious. What was it? I'm very curious, Lars, for personal reasons as well. What was it like for you, who officially was sort of a dropout, right, to go into these highly esteemed environments like?
So when you do
Switzerland and
Harvard, but when
right?
you do an executive MBA, very often it's based on your background, and you just attend some specific courses, and then that's basically what you do. Then you pass your papers, and that's how you do it.
So not so much classroom.
No, not so much classroom environment. Okay. What I loved about the business schools these days, and it all came from Harvard, was the stories. It's all about business cases where one company did this, and then this is what happened to them, and then you analyze that. That's very inspiring. That's you take some real learning. One of the stories I remember was about Black & Decker and their fight against the Japanese manufacturers, and how they actually at the end of the day countered that by inventing a new brand called DeWalt, and changing the color of their drilling machines to orange or yellow, and suddenly they could sell.
It's like a whole different brand.
Yeah, just from the same product. The other one was about the accounting fraud happening at Heinz. Heinz ketchup had some marketing accounting fraud, and what is the impact that you have on a brand when you see that they are making some strange transactions in their marketing funds? What kind of impact does it have on the trust of the brand? So I think these case studies that is being done at business schools today actually make it feel not like school, but more like you are in you're analyzing some real stuff, and I think that's very interesting. I think that's probably what you should do when you get some experience. Get into these programs, and as a company we sponsor a lot of education. We have many people in our company doing an MBA, for example, and we are sponsoring that.
Yes. Actually, also sponsor people from your company to take their MBAs.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's quite an investment.
Yeah. So we have sponsored here locally, and we have sponsored also in other countries. It's always coming. We have an annual review where we discuss the present situation of the employee, where they are, where they have been the last year, and where they're going to go in the next 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years, and we encourage them to do further education. So here in Philippines, as an example, we have marketing, graphic designers who are going for conferences abroad. We have 2 people going to Los Angeles for a conference this autumn. We have 2 other people going to Singapore, I think, in next week or 2 weeks for another conference. So lot of further education we do. Maybe that's formal, maybe it's not formal, but it gets you that exposure, and exposure gives you the value addition to yourself. And by the way, we never sign any contract.
I was just going to ask you.
Okay. So in our company, we give education, we help people to get educated, but we don't expect them anything in return. If they come halfway through, in fact, we had an example of somebody who came halfway through an MBA at Ateneo here in Philippines, and she said, I think this is not really the place for me anymore for whatever reason, and I'd like to study, and I'd like to work in another place. I did not ask her to pay back the school fees that we have paid, but she just took over the responsibility for the next phases of the study, and I think that has worked well for us in the past. We never signed any contract. Next week we have one person going to Orlando for the Microsoft Worldwide Partner Conference. I don't have any guarantee that she's not going to resign after she comes back, right? But we trust in people.
Meets a new employer there.
Yeah, we never know, right? But we extend the trust, and if people want to leave anyway, it's better. We don't want to have somebody staying with us just because they have a contract.
I have that philosophy also. If somebody wants to leave,
let them go.
The door should be open because they're not going to be happy staying anyways, right? So they might as well let them go.
We made a policy though that if you go, you can go anytime, but you cannot come back. Okay. The only people we allow to come back are people who left, for example, for maternity leave. They might in that situation
family
think,
reasons.
Yeah, they said okay. Normally maternity leave is quite short time. But in terms of some personal situation, people might think, okay, I want to have a 2-year maternity leave, and then I want to go back to work. And obviously, we are very happy to see those people coming back.
Beautiful.
It depends on the situation. But if you say I want to resign because there's a better opportunity over there, and then 6 months later you realize that better opportunity came at a cost, and now you want to go back. No, that's
Yeah, there's always a price to pay at some point. No? So we're about to go on a commercial break. Yeah, we'll be back in a minute or 2 or 3, and very excited to hear more from Lars Jeppesen.
Thank you.
Radio 1, 2, 3. Fontana Dance Showdown. Fontana Dance Showdown. Let's dance. Time to shine. Get up and get your group into the groove. Show your dancing prowess and let them know who's the best. From Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Get ready for the Philippines' best. This is Radio 1, 2, 3. Fontana Dance Showdown. Fontana Dance Showdown. This is brought to you by Fontana Leisure Park, Hotel and Casino, and DZME 1530. Radio 1, 2, 3. Fontana Dance Showdown. Fontana Dance Showdown. The Fontana Dance Showdown, live at the Jackman Mall, Muñoz, Quezon City, this Saturday, July 4, 2015, featuring Hood Styler, Guild of Dancer, Exodus Crew, The Original Exposed, with our judges, Miss Ira Bermudez, Paul Cabrera, and Direct Benny Andaya. The Fontana Dance Showdown at the Jackman Plaza Mall, Muñoz, Quezon City, 4 p.m. Be there. We invite you to experience nature tripping, from a breathtaking view to jungle trails comprised of platforms nestled on branches, suspension bridges, and the world's first motorized canopy tour. What we offer is more than just the peak of excitement. Learn new things, find inner peace as you go through a natural sanctuary hidden by foliage, or conquer your fear of heights. Treetop Adventure offers each one a personal journey with unforgettable memories as dense as the forest. Get high on nature at Treetop Adventure. Broadcasting live from the Capital Broadcasting Center studio in Ortigas, Pasig City, Philippines. 25,000 watts of pure AM power.
25,000 watts of pure AM power.
Matapang sa pagbabalita, punong-puno ng informasyon, laging handa sa public service. Ang pagbabagong hanap mo sa AM. Ito ang DZME 1530.
Libreng pagbibigay ng on-the-job training sa mga piling propesyon. Makibahagi. Let's talk about career.
Welcome back to Let's Talk About Career, normally hosted by engineer Grace Bondad Nicolas, and today hosted for the first time by Bjorn Martinoff, Global CEO Coach. So before we go back to the very exciting Lars Jeppesen, sharing and talking about his career, his company, and his life, there are some job openings I'd like to share with you. This is a company called Elabram Systems Group. Elabram is spelled ELABRAM Systems Group. They're located at Entel Corporate Center, Unit 1602, Level 16, in Makati City on Valero Street. Excellent building. So there is a series of jobs. So you can send your CV to mariagracia.n. That's spelled MARIAGRACIA.n at ELABRAM.com. So here are the jobs. They're looking for one project administrator, one document controller, one NTC coordinator, one project planner, one acceptance manager. So quite a few jobs, and there's still a lot more coming. One logistics control coordinator, one warehouse coordinator, one implementation manager, one AT&D engineer, one RANIE/site engineer, one RBX/TRX implementation supervisor, one DT coordinator, one AutoCAD operator, one RAN integration engineer, one senior project manager, one TI implementation something, one radio optimization engineer, one OSM assistant, and listen to this, 15 OSP designers. Yeah, so again, the email address is mariagracia.n, N as in Nancy, at elabram.com. So also feel free to call the station for any information. So welcome back with Lars Jeppesen, and let's talk about careers.
I also have a job opening.
You do? Fantastic.
Yeah, we have a few actually, but let's start with the most interesting one. We are looking for Minecraft builders.
Minecraft, the game that just sold for what? Was it 17 billion or 37 billion?
No, I think it was not that. It was just a couple of billion, but that's
really?
still good money, by any standard.
Yes.
So we do BPO projects. I don't know. Is it? Oh, okay, sound is good. All right.
Yes.
We do BPO projects for the real estate sector, and
Yes.
one of the interesting new approaches would be to build a house that is for sale in Minecraft.
Nice.
Yeah. So
you can actually walk through the house then afterwards.
Yes. So we are looking for some talented people who could do that. And it's kind of experimental, so it might be on, it might be off, but we would very much like to be in touch with those kind of people. Besides that, we have some more formal, standard jobs available. We are looking for an accounting assistant in our office.
Yes.
Specifically for our BPO. We're also looking for a BPO salesperson. So basically somebody who would be selling to clients abroad, but mostly via email. And then we are looking for AutoCAD operators, AutoCAD designers.
Nice.
We are looking for photo retouchers and graphic designers, and anybody who would be interested. One of the criteria we have is that you should be living little bit near our office, because we have experience with people living too far away. We can talk about this a little bit afterwards, the
Sure.
Outsourcing and homework and all this stuff, and my
home sourcing.
Yeah, home sourcing, whatever you can call it.
Yes.
My opinion about that. So anybody who's interested in those jobs and live in the south, so meaning
Alabang.
We are based in Alabang, our office in Alabang, but you could be in Laguna, you could be in Muntinlupa, in Santa Rosa maybe, but not that far south, but BF, Las Piñas. Basically, if you are south of the airport, I would say you are good to go.
Starting Merville on down.
Yeah. My email address for this purpose, you can send it to Lars, Lars @outlook.ph.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're the only Lars at Outlook.ph.
I was the first one who got it, so yeah. Lars @outlook.ph. You can send it to me.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people here in the Philippines. They like to work from home, and that's great.
For various reasons.
Yeah, for various reasons, commuting can be difficult and so on.
Yeah.
For us as an employer, we are still to explore that part. I like the idea of teamwork.
Yes.
I like to have people, working together as a team, come up with new creative ideas. You can have amazing talent, people sitting at home doing great things. I'm not against that, but I just feel that to bring things forward.
Yes.
Many people coming up with ideas. One idea brings another one and another one. So I mean
Sometimes
that's
one sparks an idea and
Yes,
another,
yes.
without even knowing it.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yes, and without that interaction,
yes.
that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So that's just how we have been doing it for now. We might come up with some home-based jobs in the future, but right now we are trying to get people to work together in an office.
In an office,
Yeah.
yes.
We're also in the process of setting up in some of the other provinces. So we're going to set up a Tech One Global outsourcing hub in Cebu, also for the photo retouching.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, it's more of a disaster recovery, basically.
So you have a backup.
Yeah, so not to put all your eggs in one basket, so to say. You have one submarine cable feeding, national capital region going down,
Oh my God.
and we are out of internet and we are out of business,
Yes,
or
yes.
earthquake, typhoons, things like that.
Yes.
So just we thought about putting one in Batangas or something, but then it's better to go to another island altogether. And I mean, one thing I'm really impressed in the Philippines is traveling locally is very easy. Flying is like taking a bus in other countries. You
That's
go to
true,
the
that's true.
airport. Domestic travel here is fantastic. I mean, I've gone to Cebu, to Bohol, to Palawan, to Boracay, and all those airports are easy, fast, and so on.
But they're improving, especially they're starting a new airport in Cebu. No?
Yeah, so Cebu will have a new airport. So I think we should not just focus on the capital. There's a lot of opportunities for working with people in other regions.
Yeah, and for good reason.
Yeah,
for good business sense. Right?
Yeah, there's local business to be taken or take part of. And again, what's the difference really from a person who lives in, let's say, Davao and move to Manila to work,
Yes.
than a person from Davao to Singapore to Dubai to work? It's the same thing, right?
So you're far away from your
You're
family.
far away from your family, and I think maybe that was one of the reasons why Philippines easily got on these foreign workers, because a lot of people already kind of
Experiencing
work.
it anyways, no?
Anyway, people are moving to Manila to work, right? So
That's true, that's
I think
true.
as an entrepreneur, as a business person here, we should also look at that. If you want to provide opportunities for people in the Philippines, it's not only people in the capital region, right? It should
Yes.
be people throughout the country.
Yes. And I'm
And-
sure there's much more talent that's located outside of Manila
Yes.
than just
Yeah.
in Manila
Yeah.
itself, right?
So that's why we're looking. So the first place in terms of our BPO will be in Cebu, and in terms of sales of our document imaging, document management products, we are looking at Davao as well. So Davao and Cebu are the two. Of course, there has to be some critical mass of business opportunity before you can invest.
Of course.
But today, most of the products that we sell are cloud-based, so they don't exist, on your PC. They are really up there in the internet,
Yes.
and it's easy for us to deploy and service customers everywhere.
Yes.
But we still want to have the local customer interaction, right? You need to have people who speaks the local dialect, who
That's true,
who
it's very
interact,
important,
yeah,
huh?
who interact with the clients, I look at Philippines as a huge opportunity for our company, and we can do a lot of things. We need local, motivated people, with quality and so on, and it's there. So we have good opportunities. We have a very strong team here in our company, and I look forward to expanding that to other parts of the country as
Beautiful.
well. Yeah.
So if you're interested, Lars at outlook.com.ph.
No, just .ph.
Out-
Outlook.ph.
Outlook
Yeah,
dot
cannot be more simple than that. Lars
Yes.
at Outlook.ph.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Outlook is a service from Microsoft as
Yes.
well. It's used to be called Hotmail before, or Live, but now it's Outlook, and it's a part of also the Office 365
Fantastic.
suite, cloud-based computer suite that you can use as an individual, as a family, or as a corporate. So that's the future of computing, all
Beautiful.
back up in the cloud.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because
Yeah.
it kind of, as a consultant and trainer, I work with executive teams all over Asia, Many times when I travel, internet access can be difficult at times, and specific access. But if you're in the cloud, that seems to be much easier for some reason. Is that
Well,
true?
I mean, you do need internet access to get
Yeah.
on the cloud, but with the Microsoft Office 365, actually you have a version on your computer. So it's not just cloud-based. Like
you have it both.
yeah, like if you want to access Facebook without internet, you kind of stuck. But you can access your Outlook email on your PC, maybe not the one that you're just downloading now if you don't have access, but let's say you're on a flight and there's no internet on the
Yes.
flight, or when you're in a remote place, you can still go through all your old emails and you can answer emails, and when you get a connection, they get synced.
Are you very familiar with Outlook 365?
Don't test me, but you can ask a question.
Just
I-
anything you see as a benefit.
Well, the benefit really is, first of all, it's a subscription based, so you
Yes.
don't have to pay up front.
You don't have to
It's-
pay the big money up
Yeah,
front.
it's always up to date. It comes.
And I see the pricing is very attractive.
Yes,
right?
yes. It's and you get online storage, so you have backup of your files in the cloud as well, and you have the full version of all the products that you really need. The office products that most people need are Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And by the way, we have also training classes in those.
I take one.
Yeah, we actually we run a worldwide Microsoft Office competition. With a US company, and we had some global winners from some of our other branches. Like last year, we had a Nepalese who won the worldwide Microsoft Excel award. So very interesting,
He's
that
part of your Nepalese team.
no,
right?
not a part of our team, but students that we have sponsored.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have sponsored students to go into this program, and once a year there's the finalists go to some place in the US. It changes every year, and they participate in this event. And we had some of our students from Brunei, from Nepal, and other countries actually winning the global award. And guess what? Those winners are easy job finders.
Oh yeah, I'm
next
sure
year,
it's no problem to find a job.
They
after that,
all
right?
offer jobs, before they even get back home, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
so it's also a different way to do your career is to get specialist in some
Get
product,
yourself
right?
noticed.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
yourself noticed in a big way.
Yeah.
Which brings me back. You worked at the corporate career for a while
Yes.
before you have your own businesses, right? And some very big companies. What's maybe what can you share with our listeners? How to advance your corporate career? What are some good pointers that you might share from personal experience?
Yeah. So first, my first recommendation, and that's really a heart-to-heart thing here for people in the Philippines, because I have seen a lot of people here getting distracted trying to do their own stuff. So if you want to excel in a corporate environment, don't try to run your own business on the side. Working for a corporate is a full-time job. Whether it's a small corporate like ours, or a global corporate like Coca-Cola or Nestle or Microsoft, you need to put all your effort in there. Don't when you have your lunch break, should not be that you need to text and talk to other people about how much did we sell in the sari store, or how is my little new initiative doing. So focus on your thing, and then basically what I did was that at a certain point in time I said, well, if I want to start my own company, and I always wanted to, it's either I do it now or it will be too late. So when I was in my 30s, I quit my job and I started my first company. So I didn't start as an entrepreneur very early, even though I always wanted to. But I focused on my career. I developed my career, and you saw what happened. I got excellent education.
Yes.
I had sponsored.
So sort of as an after effect,
yeah.
right?
So as a side effect of focusing on your career, doing the right thing, and you get promoted, you get benefits. One of the most difficult thing about having a good job is getting used to making money. And you know that when you start your own business, you know, you have to go back and live on a shoestring for a while.
Yes.
So that's why it's good to do it while you are still young, and your kids might not be so old that they need college education and stuff.
And big expenses.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So try to do it while you're young, but while you're working for a company, put your full effort there. You know, that's I encourage everybody to have a balance between private life and work, a work-life balance as it's called. Have hobbies, do things that is not associated to your work, but don't try to see if you can run a side business. Whether the companies allow it or not, it's not going to be fruitful for you. Being an entrepreneur is a full-time job.
Yes.
You cannot hire a manager for you and then he will do it. You have to do it yourself.
That's why it also makes it difficult to run several startups at the same time.
Yes.
You know? That would be very difficult.
Yeah.
Unless you have a super team, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you have enough money that you can just put money into some projects, but each of these projects need to have an entrepreneur in there who kind of,
Or at least someone with that spirit.
yeah,
right?
that's why you see most of the investors in IT, they don't go in and buy 50% of a company. They put 10%. Because they want the 90% to stay with the founder, that he can make that 10% worth millions or billions.
Yes.
But if you take the whole thing, that every time he makes $1 and he has to pass half of that to his investor, he feels that it's not worth anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. What would you say to those? There seems to be a trend that people work 16 hours a day or 14 hours a day. It seems to be more and more trend, especially in the big companies. Can people really be productive for such a long time? And wouldn't it be better to just give more in the 8 hours you're there? Or what's your personal view on that?
My personal view is that work around 8 hours a day. And of course it depends on the company you work for, because some companies don't see that. If you work for my company or our company, if I would have like 2-3 guys hanging out at the office late in the evening or during the weekend, I will start to say, okay, first of all, are these people contributing more?
Yes.
Are they producing more, or they're just trying to catch up with things that they couldn't get done during the day? If the fact is that you have people who are working very late because they couldn't catch up with what they are doing, should be doing during the day, there's a couple of different reasons for that. Either we are lacking to give them some resources. So as a company grows, very often you stress out people before you can afford to add resources.
Yes.
But you need to recognize those people
Which
and
can
say,
have an impact on turnover, right?
yes, of course. I mean, you need to recognize that you understand that this is not going to be a long term, and we are going to do something to help out on that situation. And the other thing could be that people don't have the right tools.
Yes.
They don't have the right training to use the tools. See, for example, in finance, people use Excel, Microsoft Excel, but there are so many dimensions and features to Excel that if you don't use them, you will end up wasting a lot of time doing the things that you could have done automatically.
Yes.
Slow internet connections make it difficult to upload, download stuff, and people sit and wait. Actually, when people wait to get things done, not only they are not productive, but they also end up getting more stressed.
They get exhausted. The energy drains just from waiting. The stress from waiting, then it doesn't get done, right?
And the last of the three could obviously be that people are not. They cannot do the job. They don't. They don't have the background, the talent, the interest, whatever, and they can only do it by working longer hours. So in any of these three cases, anyway, the company has to deal with it, and it's a management problem more than an individual. The other thing is we look at is sick days. If somebody has a lot of sick days, normally it's related to people being demotivated. Of course, you have people with bad health, but in general, it's because people they get up in the morning and couldn't be bothered to go to work because for some reason or not there's something that bothers them. So those are the things we look at.
Or maybe the environment is not inspiring, or maybe the team is not aligned fully, right?
Absolutely,
or the boss is feeling crabby often.
But so the short answer is that no, I don't think anybody should work 16 hours, and yes, they should have 2 days off for the weekend, and they should have their vacations and things. We had one girl in the office. She came the other day and say, can I take a month's vacation? And I wrote a long email, and then I erased all the email and answered yes, and then hit send. Because, you know, what are people going to do during vacation? And they're going to go out there and get inspiration, and they're going to get time off. At the same time, the rest of the team back home get to show that they can do something. You know, that person is also doing something that is overlapping what other people are doing. So it gives a chance to everybody to contribute and show what they can do.
Yeah, it allows them to step up where they may
Absolutely,
normally
yeah.
not be able to step up. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
That makes sense. Before we really have a couple more minutes, maybe you're a fan of Richard Branson now. He has a new vacation policy. You take vacation when you want it, as long as you want it. It's kind of like this all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, actually,
what's that all about?
Actually, no. Actually, I spent a week, the last week, with our HR manager and our my business partner, and this was one of the topics we discussed.
Oh, how timely!
Yeah, actually, I was promoting the idea, and they were saying that you know, are we ready for that? Are the people that work for us ready for that? It takes a certain kind of environment, and also it's easy for somebody like Richard Branson to go out and make that statement.
Sure.
But what is important is that we look at what sits behind it, what administration sits behind it, because like if you run an airline and all the staff have decided to take vacation, how are you going to fly?
Time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's easy to come and say take vacation anytime you want it, as long as you want it. But at the end of the day, there's much more to that statement.
Yeah.
But you know, in our company, we are promoting to have a full vacation every year, and to take your vacation that you should take and work the hours you should work, and take your weekends and take your holidays and spend time with the family, and that's important.
Okay. So Lars, anything you want to say in closing?
No, that's pretty much it.
That's it?
Lars
So,
at outlook.ph if you want to apply for any jobs that we have.
Yes.
Of course, if you are looking for a very cool cloud-based document management, document imaging system. I know you told me not to advertise, but now now the time is out, and you can't stop me anymore. So
definitely.
So
imaging, please also get in touch with Lars.
Anyway, thank you, Bjorn, for inviting me here. It was exciting to
have you.
to be here, and I can imagine we have actually talked for 1 hour. We did not. We only had one commercial.
Yeah, for a few minutes.
Yeah. Now we need a glass of water at least.
Or a glass of wine.
Yeah, or wine. Yeah.
All right. So
okay, thank you very much.
Very welcome, and thanks for having you. Thanks for coming all the way from Alabang. So another informative day for all of us, and for next week we will have the CEO of Treetop Adventure, Mrs. Camille Montejo, to talk about careers in the tourism industry. Again, and on behalf of engineer Grace Bondad Nicolas, this is Bjorn Martinoff, host for today with Lars Jeppesen. Good afternoon.
Natatanging career orientation na tutulong para sa tamang pagpili ng kurso at propesyon. Let's talk about career.
NSO birth certificate? Isang tawag lang yan. Dial 737-1111 or log on to nsohelpline.com. Delivered in 2 to 3 days. Tawag na 7